Hey guys, welcome back to the Three Source Productions. Tonight is Steven with Alex doing commentary over Smoker versus Ivankov. It was a fun match we recorded the other night. Are you ready?
I'm never ready for Ivankov, but let's go.
What's wrong with Ivankov?
I suck at it.
Okay, I don't know. There's probably people who are good at Ivankov out there, but I don't see enough Ivankov videos. So I'm trying to help out that. So let's go. Okay, first of all, we got that such a beautiful alt art leader on the Ivankov side.
That is a nice leader. I wonder who you got that from.
My pal Alex. My pal Alex opened a whole case over here. Oh my god, rolling a 7. And just, I got that Ivankov
Those
from.
dice are.
They like to roll
They
7s.
constantly roll 7.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, well that time it hit like the playmat, yeah. Well, anyways. Okay. Oh, such a generous. You're good. Just give it the tap on the top of the deck.
Yeah, sometimes I like to think that helps ruin their hand.
Whatever we can do to win, you know. You thought this was friendly. I trust you. I don't need to cut. But no, this is actually just in spite. I know that the way they stacked their deck was such that they need me to cut.
Exactly.
Yep.
I
So,
curse their deck when I tap it.
Smoker taking the early mulligan. And it looks like Ivankov kept. Did see a 3-drop Dofi in the Ivankov's hand. Not sure. Did you get a look at what Smoker threw back?
I did not, but I'm assuming he's looking for like Sakazuki, Kuzan. Those are like heavy hitters in the deck. Um, There's no searchers, so you can't look for that.
So Sakazuki can definitely put in some work. So Ivankov's going to put in a lot of 4-drops. You have 4-drop blockers, 4-drop attackers. There is the character that becomes a 7K when you have very few cards in your hand. And you also have the guy that untaps himself at the end of every turn. So it's quite powerful. And Smoker is going to have the ability to equip a Dawn to the leader, use the ability to reduce it by 1, make the 4-drops a 3 cost, and then they can Kobe and destroy the 4-drops, which is going to be incredible tempo. Kind of the weakness of Ivankov is that it really can't put up much pressure before 4 Dawn. And then so you can kind of see it right now. It's establishing these 2Ks, but they're not enough pressure to really make Smokers sweat.
And he'll want to leave one of those alive because that makes Smoker just a 7K leader.
Exactly, yeah. So we're kind of benefiting Smoker by even playing these out. Looks like we played Buggy first, added a card to our hand, and then used the Perona to stack the top of the deck. So we do know what we're going to see for the next couple of turns. And we also are looking at 3-drop Dofi, so we can potentially do it again next turn. Saw a 5K come across, and we just took it.
Yeah, Chad really likes that Helmeppo.
Helmeppo with another life trigger. Couple of life triggers out of the Smoker deck. Most significant one being Shockwave. Okay. So we do have 4 Dawn here. Let's see if we play the 3-drop Dofi or we try and put out the 4-drops on the table.
The gentleman handshake of both taking the 5K swing.
We'll both start with 4 here. Okay, so it looks like we play Mr. Guido. So he's going to be able to untap himself at the end of every turn by discarding a card. So that makes him a kind of a powerful attacker, as well as being both an invalid down target and a good blocker.
Yeah, I notice sometimes I get stuck with like one card that I can't get rid of, and Ivankov to go to 0.
Yeah.
So that blocker's really good that it can help get you to 0.
And it looks like this might even be one of those games for the Ivankov player also, because I am seeing a 7-drop, looks to be a 9-drop, a 6-drop, and a Dofi in hand. Ooh. So we are countering out with the Dofi because we didn't play it. We wanted to establish the 4-drop. Makes sense to me. That really says that, hey, the Perona stacked the cards that I want on top of the deck, and Dofi does not need to look again.
Yeah, and that Helmeppo does a lot. He minuses 2 when he swings and gets a buff.
Text. What's the text on the Helmeppo?
I believe it's when he swings, it's -2, and then if they have a 0, he gets plus like 2k.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna really come across the table with these one drops still lingering. So see if we can do something about that. Come across for 6k. So 6k is a bit of an awkward swing. Ivankov does have quite a bit of 2ks. And we're getting lower on cards, so Ivankov's having to think about which discards they're going to make.
And I think I see a Alt Art Sakazuki and Kuzan in chat's hand.
Sakazukis are so powerful here. Ivankov playing basically one character per turn until they get the nice Emporio Ivankov 7-drop in play. And then they can play two big things.
But when you don't get it, it feels bad.
It feels kind of bad, yeah. We come across for 5. We're trying to tick down cards in Smoker's hand.
Yeah, and that's really relevant because the fact that a lot of black cards require you discard.
Yeah. So they are kind of 2 for 1
So
themselves.
I feel extra good when I take a card out of black sand.
Well, you can get into a play pattern later in the game where if they want to remove a card, they have to basically discard the card they just took off of life. So you can actually make progress towards killing them without worrying about flooding their hand with resources to get out of those late game attacks.
And that looked like a pretty strong turn from you.
So
you have 2 really strong blockers.
Yeah, establishing the second 4-drop there is really, really powerful, and it's like one of the cool things Ivankov has in their kit. Now, unfortunately, it is still going to fall into that one character per turn range as you're trying to equip Dawn to your characters. One character per turn is exactly where Smoker wants their opponent to be, because they can play one Sakazuki per turn.
Yeah, and like I said, the Smoker's 7k perma swinging into leader, just like Dofi.
That's right. And that beautiful Kazan is thinking about where he should be attacking.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste if he just uses it for a 5k swing and then it dies on the crackback.
Yeah, so I think he also realized that, and he decided not to attack with it. So reclaim some Dawn here. So we are actually at that beautiful 7 Dawn turn. We're going to see what we can do with it. We are a bit flooded on cards, so Ivankov is not going to get the draw ability that they are used to. So we're going to go 5k across the table. We're actually at 8 Dawn, not 7. And Guido's going to attack. Okay. So it looks like we're trying to map out our turn. There is quite a few plays. Unfortunately, the buggies are going to add cards to our hand. We want just raw card advantage to get the most value out of our cards. This is such an example of the awkwardness of Ivankov at times where you have these powerful effects like being able to add cards to your hand, and you kind of think of them negatively because they reduce the effectiveness of the other cards. So it's a little bit of a non-bo there.
Yeah, I'm really not good with the balancing act of, when to take life, when to add cards to hand so that I end up with 0, or that I have 3 on my turn so I can Luffy and discard 2.
Yeah, you want to do those powerful combo effects, but it can be a little bit tough to know and predict exactly what you might get off of your life. And we are going to put in Luffy, and that is going to get rid of the buggy. So we are one of the 1-drops down. Unfortunately, we did just replace the buggy with another buggy.
Luffy killing off Buggy.
And we were able to bounce the Kuzan back to the Smoker's hand. That can be fine. Oftentimes, 4 Dawn is a huge commitment for Smoker to have to deal with, and they're not getting any immediate effects. It doesn't actually impact the board. It doesn't block. It's not the best attacker in the deck, and it's not killing anything. So they are going to get to draw a card, but it costs them 4 Dawn to do that, and that is not exactly where you want to be. So I actually really like the Luffy putting the Kuzan back in hand. Kuzan also being one of the tools that Smoker has to reduce those 7 drops down to 0.
Yeah, the Kuzan's really strong. It's draw, and it helps get everything into range with minusing 4.
So we do have a backup Ivankov in hand. If we can not take too much life here, we can actually draw a card, play one of our characters, and then we can play the Ivankov and draw the full 3 cards.
Yeah, you're looking like a Dofi player with all those creatures on the field.
Yeah, Ivankov can really establish characters in the mid game here. As long as they don't interact too hard with the 4-drops when we play them, then we are going to build up quite a nice board of 7Ks.
See, purple could just 10-drop Kaido.
That's true, but Ivankov can actually refill quite nicely. If you 10-drop Kaido here, then a port of Ivankov, the 7-drop would get some nice value. Sarah's swinging. We only have 1K counter in hand, so we can't actually get out of it. And we drew Arboresque Brick Fist, which is not going to be what you want to see in this matchup. Okay, and he's actually explaining to me what the 5-drop Smoker does. Has double strike.
And he can't be removed by card effects.
Right.
Really strong in the mirror. Really strong against red.
Yeah, not too effective in this one. I'm going to be looking to bounce things back to my opponent's hands. But that's my main form of removal. Now, unfortunately, I do personally think that the 6-cost Luffy is a little bit underpowered, only being able to return 4-drops or less. It's really, in so many situations, just doesn't feel like quite enough to make that card good,
Yeah, I agree. Discarding 2, even in an Ivankov deck, hurts a little bit.
Well, it really says like, hey, I don't know what cards I need right now. I just need raw card advantage. To be able to discard 2 cards from your hand and draw 2 mystery cards at the end of your turn. It's difficult. It's a difficult situation.
Yeah,
but here, you just have the Luffy not being able to do anything when it attacks.
Yeah, I played the Naruto CCG, and ironically, there was a blue deck that ran no hand, and that felt much better than in One Piece. But we got a while to before who knows? No hand Ivankov might become OP as more sets come out.
This is a really difficult turn for Ivankov. We are looking at a Luffy that does have double attack here, so we could put a lot of Dawn on it and swing to deal the 2 damage here. Looks like we did not do that. I think we're still looking to play the 7-drop from our hand. And Smoker is actually holding quite a few cards too, so. Okay, Mihawk there.
Ooh.
That's a really big board swing. Now, we are at 1 life, and they do have 2 characters still. We can discard 1 card to untap our blocker.
Well, and
we still have quite a few cards left to play also.
Yeah, the Mihawk can bottom the Smoker, can't
Oh,
it?
actually we can't. We are tapped out. Mihawk could bottom the Smoker, yes.
Why did you choose to bottom the Sakazuki over the Smoker?
The Smoker has largely like irrelevant text on it. I think it comes down to art preference, and I prefer to look at the Smoker rather than the
Oh, really interesting.
Yeah.
Make sure to comment on which are alt art, or that Smoker isn't even an alt art, but it does look like an alt art.
It does look like an alt art, yeah. They did a really good job with that one.
Yeah, make sure you comment on which one's better, Sakazuki or that 5-drop Smoker.
So now we are counting Dawn here. Now, if he can remove my 4-drop blocker, we are in a real hard spot.
If there's one thing Black can do, it's remove.
It is remove exactly that 4-drop. And he is reducing it, so we're pretty much sure that we've lost the game here. And now it's reduced by 3, so it is now a 1 cost. And we're just going to go ahead and kill it. Okay, so with that out of the way, it should just be a pretty clean attack here. Now we know he does not. He swings for 9. Okay. And we do not have the counter power to get out of that one, so that is going to be the smoker victory there.
Yeah,
I think I would
Ivankov
have
runs a lot of cards that don't counter.
I think I would have liked to see I think I would have liked to see more. Like, don't play the Mihawk because it doesn't actually do anything. Instead, go a little bit harder on the Luffy attack. See if he takes it, goes down to 0 life, and then you can kind of commit your Dawn a little heavier. Now, it's difficult because basically. If that doesn't kill him, then he definitely kills you back. So I believe where the head was is that you can play the Mihawk. You're basically locking up a win on the following turn, and you're putting all of your eggs in the basket of your blocker. Does he have removal for the blocker or not? And if not, you win. If he does, you lose. But you're pretty sure that the Luffy attack isn't going to be quite enough to win either.
Yeah, I would really like to see like an Ivan player who like topped. I would love to watch their Swiss rounds, see how they handle every matchup. It's definitely a balancing act, and in One Piece, for sure, I'm sure we've all had it. We take that turn to try to kill your opponent, and then if you fail, you die. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's so impressive to see the Ivankov win because like when I play Ivankov, obviously I'm terrible at the deck, but when I play Ivankov, it feels like there's so much power here, but like the cards just don't quite work the way you want them to.
yeah,
Um,
it just didn't click with me. I'm more of a Dofi player.
yeah.
Dofi players rise up.
All right, guys. Well, if you're still watching the video, then be sure to subscribe and like and check out the playlists on screen right now for more content. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.